What's up, guys? This is Money May Scouts, and today we're doing our very first player interview. I'm lucky to be joined by Cornell star and a good friend of mine, Cooper Noard. Coop, how you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good, Mace. How are you?
Good, man. Really excited to have you on the show.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
it.
Me too, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Coop, know you're a busy man. Let's dive right in. Talk to me about your hoops journey, growing up in the Chicago area to becoming not only a Division I player but a top player on a potential March Madness team.
Yeah, I feel like I've had somewhat of a unique journey throughout my career. Starting out at high school, I was on the freshman team my freshman year, which, some people might have experienced that, some people might not have, but I was, not too big of a kid, hit a growth spurt and went from playing on the freshman team to starting every game my sophomore year of high school and had a couple of phenomenal mentors helped keep me in check. I was a immature, emotional kid back then, play in those types of environments. As a 16-year-old, we're tough at points, and to have, senior leadership on that team that helped guide me through that season and helped me, succeed at that level was incredible. And then obviously, our junior year, COVID hit, which was a unique year to say the least. Not having a full season and all that really stunk, but the June period with with GBS, I feel like I played great in the two live grades that we had. I was really making steps as far as like my strength and athleticism and my skills on the court. And then where I feel like I really, really knew that I was capable of playing at Division I level was with the Illinois Wolves over the July period in AAU. I complimented my team really well. We obviously had a great team, and I feel like I played extremely well over the summer with that team, and obviously winning a national championship. I knew that I could compete with anyone because obviously on the UAA circuit, there's a ton of high major players and 5 stars, 4 stars, or whatever, future NBA guys. So just competing overall throughout the summer and playing well, I feel like I knew that I could compete at the highest level. And then obviously, not too long after the Illinois Wolves season was over, I committed to Cornell. Obviously, my senior year was probably one of my favorite years of all time. We're such a great group and close group. I feel like, some of my best friends were on that team. And overall, even though we came up short of our goal and lost in the Elite Eight, it was still an unbelievably phenomenal year, both individually for myself and for our team as a whole. And obviously, getting to play alongside Nick in that type of situation was awesome. We've been best friends since we were, 4 or 5 years old, and to get to play at that high of a level alongside of him created some of my greatest memories. And then, yeah, kind of moving on to college, I was super blessed to be able to come to this institution and play basketball at the Division I level. Obviously, being in the Ivy League, it can be tough sometimes, but I'm super honored to be able to represent Cornell at the highest level and get a degree from this institution is, stuff that will help me out for a lifetime. My freshman year was super hard, like, getting adjusted to the academics and the level of basketball was tough for me. It was basically a developmental year for me. I didn't play very much, but a lot of my time was spent outside of practice, just working out with different guys, working out with coaches, trying to develop my game, get better at defense, and get stronger in the weight room with our strength coach, Jay. And then again, like kind of like high school, I went from, not playing my freshman year to starting every game my sophomore year. And I feel like a testament to that was just my hard work my freshman year and all that work we put in, both, during the season and in the off season really showed my sophomore year as I was able to, come out and have a great year. After my sophomore year, Coach Earl, who was the coach at the time, left for William and Mary. It stung because he was awesome. I loved him. He placed a lot of trust in me my sophomore year and was able to, help me through the highs and lows of that season. And seeing him go hurt a little bit, but our current coach, Coach Jakes, was able to step up and be a phenomenal leader for us last year. And I feel like my goal is, bring a championship home to Ithaca and have a great senior year. So I feel like overall I've had a unique journey, but it's been one that I've enjoyed and one that I'm looking forward to continuing.
Talk to me a bit about your growth your team has made now at Cornell since you arrived on campus your freshman year to now as a senior.
There's been a lot of growth, honestly. Our resiliency and our adaptation as a team, I feel like, has been great and improving since my freshman year. And if you don't have the right culture and you don't have the right guys on your team, transitioning from a coach to a different coach can be tough. But overall, we were able to not just have a year where you struggle a little bit with the new coach, but we were able to make a leap, and that showed last year as we were able to be the second overall seed in the Ivy tournament and then make the championship after a coaching change.
For sure. So, Coop, I know this offseason was a bit chaotic for you around the closing of the transfer window. You put your name in, but obviously decided to return to Cornell for your senior year. What was the biggest factor in your decision to return to Ithaca?
The main factors for me were the team culture, the coaching staff, and overall the academic experience. Getting a degree from Cornell is something that is insanely hard to turn down. I've obviously completed 3 years of school here, and it felt like a disservice to the work that I've put in the classroom to, not complete the last year and get the degree. So that was one of the factors. Like I said, the team culture. I feel like what makes our team super unique and is the fact that we're able to, beat each other up on the court during practice and be super competitive with each other and talk trash here and there and, hate to lose and want to win every single time we step on the court. And the intensity is always there. And then the second we step off the court, we're best of friends again. I feel like I've never been on a team that's as close as we are, and that culture is contagious. Like you want to be a part of that. The coaching staff too, like it couldn't have been easy for them, and I have a special place in my heart for Coach Jakes and the rest of that staff because for me to tell them I'm going to put my name in the portal, and Coach Jakes was, he wasn't mad, he was understanding and super supportive throughout that whole process. And like I said, it couldn't have been easy for him and the rest of the guys. So there's a special place in my heart for, the support and the confidence that they put in me day in and day out.
So let's shift back now a little bit to you as a player. So people that scout you, they know that you're a great shooter with strong off-ball movement, particularly with your cutting. What are some aspects of your game you feel like are underappreciated or that you've really worked on that could be on display this year?
I feel like my skills with the ball in my hand, I feel like it's something that will show a lot more this year. Obviously, having guys like Nazir Williams and AK Okereke and Guy Ragland Jr., who were like our guys that had the ball in their hands the most last year. Losing them, you lose a lot of production. And being a senior leader on this team, I'm going to have to step into a larger role. And I feel like that'll include having the ball in my hands a little bit more than previous years. And that's not just about, me getting paint touches and getting layups at the rim or floaters or whatever, but getting my teammates involved and setting my teammates up for success and getting assists. So I feel like that's something that I've really prided myself on last spring, over the summer, and now into practice this fall. So that's going to help me take the next leap in my game. I feel like, I'm obviously continue to work on my shooting, my off-ball movement, and my defense. I feel like those three things have been something that I've carried for quite some time now. But I feel like the next leap in my game is being able to get more paint touches and set myself and my teammates up for easy layups, open threes.
Yeah. Sounds like we'll be seeing some more playmaking for you this year. It's going to be exciting.
Maybe, yeah. My high school instincts are coming back to me when I was a
Yeah.
point guard, so you never know.
Yeah. What are your expectations both for yourself individually and this team as a whole this year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the expectation for us is to bring a championship home to Ithaca. With the Ivy tournament being here in Ithaca this year, I feel like it's a
Sweet.
special opportunity for us to win a championship at home. So that's our main goal as a team. And obviously there's a lot of work to be put in order for us to complete that. And there's a lot of good teams in the Ivy League this year. So, we got to continue to work hard. And for myself, I try not to focus on the individual aspect of it too often because I've always been a guy who's more focused on the team aspect, and that's part of our culture as well. And but I want to be the best player I can be. I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to be the Ivy Player of the Year and have a great year overall and set myself up for success beyond college in the basketball world. But overall, I feel like my goal for this season is to do whatever it takes to help my team win a championship, averaging 20 points a game or averaging 8 points a game and 5 assists. I've always been a guy who will put aside personal success just to watch our team win. It doesn't really matter to me.
So, Coop, you've been great so far. I really appreciate it. And this last question I got for you is kind of where do you see yourself a year from now? I know the NCAA is talking about potentially adding a fifth year, and I know you're very capable of becoming a professional basketball player. So, kind of talk to me
Mhm.
about what that could look like.
That's a great question. And it's a tough one for me because it's hard to, see in the future for a guy that doesn't know what's going to happen a year from now. Like anything can happen this season like you said, I feel like I'm capable of competing at the highest level, but anything can happen in this next year. I'm mainly focused on living in the moment. Obviously, being a senior, there's a extra level of pressure and nervousness and anxiousness about this next season, being the potential last season in college basketball. But overall, if I had to, say where I want to be a year from now, it's competing at the highest level I can, whether that's NBA, G League, overseas. It doesn't really matter to me. I want to continue to play basketball for as long as I can, and I don't know what level that is, whether that's college or professional. I want to play basketball for as long as I can. I mean, I've played this sport for so long. I love it. It's been my life, and I've put more work in than a lot of people in this sport. There's a lot of uncontrollable things that I could focus on, but mainly I'm focused on the things that I can control, and that's playing the best I can, playing the hardest I can, and trying to help my team succeed. And then after the season's over, hopefully, I've played well enough as an individual to set myself up for success going forward.
For sure. Coop, my guy, thank you so much for making the time for this interview. You're the man. Best of
But
luck this year with the season.
appreciate you, man. Have a good one.
Yeah.